Turn on your television, open a newspaper, scroll through your social media feed. The headlines scream at you, a daily chorus of manufactured fury. Asylum seekers in 4-star luxury, one tabloid shrieks. Britain's hotels full, another declares, with a photo of a family looking vaguely foreign. The narrative is simple. Britain is overrun, its generosity exploited by ungrateful newcomers living the high life on the taxpayer's dime. It's a story designed to make your blood boil and to keep you distracted. This constant drumbeat of outrage is the perfect political football, igniting passions and deflecting from government failings. Politicians repeat talking points about stopping the boats and ending Hotel Britain, as if hotels are the root of all evil. The real outrage? The public anger is real, and £8 million a day is an insane amount of money. Communities see local services cut while the government hemorrhages cash on temporary accommodation. Their frustration is justified, but their anger is being misdirected at asylum seekers, not at the system trapping them. The real story isn't about who's staying in the hotels, it's about who owns them. While the nation argues about breakfast buffets, a handful of companies are quietly making a killing. These are the hidden architects of the crisis, profiting from a system failing everyone. Shielded by complex contracts and a lack of oversight, they've turned a humanitarian crisis into a business model. The real scandal isn't the migrants, it's the multi-billion-pound industry profiting from their desperation. The outrage machine keeps us distracted from the real beneficiaries. It's time to look past the headlines and ask, who's really cashing in? Because the answer isn't who you've been told to blame. The idea that asylum seekers are living in luxury is a fantasy. The real issue isn't people getting a free ride. It's a handful of private companies getting obscenely rich. While the media fixates on 4-star hotels, the real story is on corporate balance sheets. These companies thrive on enormous, non-competitive government contracts that reward failure. The worse the crisis, the more money they make. This isn't a debate about immigration. It's about privatization and corporate welfare. The government has outsourced its duty to house vulnerable people to firms whose only duty is to shareholders. The goal isn't safe, humane housing, it's profit. The more corners cut, the more money made. The government and its contractors want you blaming asylum seekers, not the corporations charging $200 a night for a single damp room. It's time to ask, who are these companies? How did they get these contracts? And where is our money going? The numbers are staggering: £8 million a day, over $3 billion a year, spent on temporary hotel accommodation. That's more than the budget for MI5, enough to build new hospitals. Instead, it's funneled into a broken system that helps almost no one except the contractors. The root cause: a massive backlog, over 175,000 people waiting for an asylum decision, many for over a year. The slower the Home Office processes claims, the longer people stay in hotels, and the more money flows to private firms. The cost per person in a hotel is often double or triple what it would be in normal housing. These companies are gouging the taxpayer, and the government lets them. The system incentivizes failure. Why would a company want the backlog cleared if it means the money stops? The chaos isn't a bug, it's a feature. The longer the crisis drags on, the more profit there is to be made. The result? A system that perpetuates itself at enormous public cost. The only winners are the contractors. Everyone else, taxpayers, communities, and asylum seekers, loses. This is a crisis by design. How do you turn a humanitarian duty into a cash machine? It's a simple 3-step process. First, the government outsources asylum housing through massive contracts, so big only a few companies can bid. These firms become gatekeepers, paid a flat fee per asylum seeker. When normal housing runs out, they use hotels at inflated last-minute rates, passing the bill plus a management fee to the taxpayer. There's no incentive to negotiate or provide quality, just to maximize profit. Corners are cut, support is minimal, and oversight is weak. The Home Office signs the checks and looks away. The result? Huge profits for companies, misery for those inside. It's profiteering, hidden in plain sight. Let's zoom in on one key player: Clear Springs Ready Homes. You've probably never heard of them, but they hold a multi-billion-pound contract to house asylum seekers. In 1 year, their revenue soared to over $260 million, with $62 million paid out in dividends to just 2 directors. That money didn't improve conditions or go back to taxpayers. It went straight into private pockets. Meanwhile, Clear Springs has been repeatedly criticized for dire conditions: rodent infestations, mold, inedible food. Vulnerable people, including children, are housed in squalor, yet the contracts keep getting renewed. There's no penalty for poor performance, just reward for failure. This isn't just a failure of oversight, it's a moral failure. The $62 million payout is a symbol of a broken, corrupt system. While company owners count their millions, life inside migrant hotels is grim. Families are crammed into single rooms for months or years with no privacy or space for children to play. Conditions are often appalling: black mold, broken heating, infestations of bedbugs and rats. Food is nutritionally poor, culturally inappropriate, and sometimes barely edible. Parents can't cook for their children. Everyone eats the same unappetizing tray, day after day. The mental health toll is devastating. People who fled trauma face endless waiting, forbidden from working, stripped of autonomy. Rates of self-harm and suicidal thoughts are high. When things go wrong, there's no accountability. Hotel staff blame contractors. Contractors are faceless. The home office is distant. People are left powerless, their voices ignored. This is the human cost of profit-driven outsourcing. Dignity is stripped away, hope is crushed, and people become numbers on a spreadsheet. How did we get here? Decades of ideological obsession with privatization. Successive governments outsourced public services, promising better results for less money. The reality: higher costs, worse outcomes. Outsourcing asylum housing created a new market for profit, turning people into commodities. The government became a purchaser, not a provider. Companies became vendors, not public servants. The result? A system serving contractors, not the public or asylum seekers. The taxpayer pays more, gets less, and vulnerable people suffer. Some things, like caring for the vulnerable, should never be run for profit. The system's opacity deepens with subcontracting. Main contractors like Clear Springs don't do all the work. They subcontract food, security, and transport to a web of obscure companies. When problems arise, everyone blames someone else. Accountability vanishes. Each company takes a cut, inflating costs at every level. The taxpayer pays for a pyramid of profit margins with little transparency. Journalists and MPs hit a wall of commercial confidentiality. Billions are spent with no oversight, a system designed to enrich a few and shield them from scrutiny. We're stuck in a nightmare and expensive, inhumane system enriching mystery firms. But it doesn't have to be this way. The first step: fix the asylum backlog. Hire and train more caseworkers to process claims quickly and fairly. Fewer people would need accommodation, and costs would plummet. Next, end the outsourcing racket. Bring housing back under public control, managed by local authorities who know their communities. This would save billions and restore accountability. Demand radical transparency. Every contract, every pound spent, every performance metric should be public. Create an independent regulator with real power to inspect, fine, and terminate contracts for poor performance. Ultimately, it's a choice. Do we treat people as commodities, or with dignity and respect? Do we funnel public money to anonymous shareholders, or invest in our communities? The current model is a moral and financial catastrophe. By clearing the backlog, ending outsourcing, and demanding transparency, we can build a fair, efficient, humane asylum process. It's time to put people, not profit, first.